President Biden says inflation is his top priority, but you wouldn't know it. Prices skyrocketing to the highest level in more than 30 years. That's 3 decades, Jessica. And Joe is claiming his recently passed infrastructure bill is going to fix the supply crisis and seems to blame Americans for buying too much stuff.
Not a lot of people have a clear understanding, whether they have a PhD or they didn't go to school, about how a supply chain works. And because of the strength of our economic recovery, American families have been able to buy more products. They're not going out to dinner and lunch and going to local bars because of COVID. So what are they doing? They're staying home, they're ordering online, and they're buying product. This is a recipe for delays and for higher prices. And people are feeling it. They're feeling it. Do you ever think you'd be paying this much for a gallon of gas?
That is so comforting, Dana. Hey, did you ever think you'd pay this much under me?
Yeah, hey.
Anyway, I got to get back in the copter.
And then he said, the sun's gone down, so I gotta. You guys are cold. I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will say I think there had been quite a bit of a disconnect between what Americans were caring about and what the administration was talking about. That had been going on for months. Yesterday, at least, he did say, "I hear you.
Right.
Prices are going up. Inflation is. He hears all of that. But then he says, but that's why we need to do this Build Back Better bill. And when he says people don't understand the supply chain crisis, I don't think that's true. People get it, and they might not blame him directly. They might not say it's all his fault. But they do know this. If you have the government spend a whole bunch more money in this situation, it's like giving too much medicine to a toddler.
Yes.
It's not good for the toddler. I'm not saying Americans are toddlers.
It does put them to sleep.
Yes. Jesse, how dare you? Does it really work?
Yeah, it really works.
Jesse, I was thinking you might have a montage to share.
Greg, who would have ever thought we would have been paying so much for gas? Roll it. That'll just tank the stock market, and you add gas prices to the top of that, surging close to $3.50 a gallon by the summer. If it's already up now, 50 cents a gallon from when Biden was elected, nothing is worse in presidential politics than high gas prices.
Yep,
we don't want high gas prices. I could sure use the money with these high gas prices, let me tell you. I predicted $3.50 a gallon. Today it is $3.40 a gallon, so I did predict that, Joe Biden. He's like the kind of guy that sees on the weather it's 100% chance of rain. He goes outside without an umbrella and says, "How did I get so wet?" I mean, it's not that hard to understand when Dana said you pump $10 trillion into the economy. Between the Fed and Congress, you're going to have high gas prices. When you stretch the supply chain all the way across the Pacific into China, you wonder why there's like an armada of cargo ships sitting outside the port. If we had kept the factories here, or even in Mexico, we wouldn't have had that problem. I'd rather have made in Mexico, at least, than made in China. But you know what? Doesn't matter if you have a PhD. Doesn't matter if you have no degree. When things are expensive and inconvenient, you blame the guy at the top. And right now, that happens to be Joe Biden.
Jessica, as we all know, you are pregnant, so you are buying gas for 2. It's got to be difficult. You have more cargo to carry. You might have a supply chain issue at any moment. We never know.
We had to get a bigger car just so I could fit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Defend the president, or give us your thoughts.
My thoughts, first of all, the Malibu Armada is something really funny to think about with all the cargo ships and everyone waiting there.
Yep.
I think Dana's right that this turn shows that the elections last Tuesday have made a difference in that there has to be a reconfiguration of how the messaging's working. And there are a bunch of moderate Democrats who've gone out talking about this, like Abigail Spanberger was on The Daily, talking about how we need a new message. We didn't hire Joe Biden to be FDR, et cetera. What has been interesting, though, is Larry Summers, who's been very critical of the president, actually defended Build Back Better, saying that it wasn't going to add to the inflation problem. And Joe Manchin released a statement not connecting the two either. So that leaves that glimmer of hope that it's going to get passed still. But I think going into this midterms, it's going to be the economy, the economy, the economy.
You think a couple more trillion is not going to hurt inflation?
I'm saying that there are key players in this and people who have been very critical of the president who are not connecting them.
But you don't think that, right?
Well, I have a PhD, so.
There you go.
And a baby.
All right, Judge.
I have neither.
Judge, this might be the most engaged president I've seen in my lifetime. No connection with anybody. Has to be informed after the reporters ask a question about something, what was asked.
He's not only the least engaged, even when he is engaged, he's not engaged.
Yes.
Okay? This is a president who says we're too stupid to understand what's behind the supply chain crisis. Here's the bottom line. Your standard of living is going down. Everything costs more. Trump said the price of gas would go up. It's going up. And, you know, he's already telling us that Thanksgiving is going to cost more than it did last year. So we're too stupid to understand that? No, we're not. He's too stupid to explain it and too stupid to fix it.
There you go. The fastest up next.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.